Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. You enjoying your day, sweet? If not, then what the hell ever. So, I did this one last year, and I wanted to do it again this year because Wrestlemania is almost here. And I wanted to actually discuss another one. Last year I talked about John Cena's history of WrestleMania, and today I'm going to talk about Randy Orton because he's going into WrestleMania 42 against Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. So I wanted to go over his entire history like we saw with Cena last year. So originally 19, he was going to be in Triple H's corner with Ric Flair and Batista because Evolution had just formed the month prior. But Randy Orton and Batista were both hurt in a tag team match at a house show against the Dudley Boys, so that's why only Ric Flair was in Triple H's corner at WrestleMania. So he was supposed to have been around there because he was there in the original graphic, but didn't happen. So you get to WrestleMania 20. 3-on-2 handicap match of Evolution. Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair against the Rock and Sock Connection. Mick Foley's first full-time in-ring match, back after a few years away. Teaming up with The Rock, who was on his way out, because, he wouldn't have another match after this for another 7.5 years. Pretty good match, entertaining and everything, especially with the antics of The Rock and Ric Flair as time went along, but ultimately, Randy would get the win because he would avoid Mr. Socko by giving the RKO to Mick Foley and get the pin. So a nice way to start it off. Now, after this, we remember Randy Orton turned babyface. That didn't work. So then in the build of WrestleMania 21, he was going to go against The Undertaker to try to make an impact, revive his Legend Killer gimmick. He turned heel again by RKOing Stacy Keibler, who was his on-screen girlfriend. And these two had a great match together at WrestleMania 21. The rumor, of course, or the news said backstage, I think they keep saying, I wanted to say rumor, but it's essentially been constantly going around to where it may be true, but who knows, that Randy was initially given the opportunity to end the streak, but Randy refused, rightfully so. Still had a great match. Remember that insane moment where The Undertaker went for the chokeslam, but got hit with the RKO and didn't move. But The Undertaker still won with the Tombstone Piledriver. So I believe that was 13-0 by this point, so good move, great match there. And then Randy had to take some time off for the shoulder injury, and then we keep feuding with The Undertaker when he came back. Now, the next year, WrestleMania 22, he was the runner-up in the Royal Rumble by against Rey Mysterio, beat him by cheating in No Way Out to get his title shot, but then Tag Along decided, no, Ray, you're still in the match, so it's a triple threat. Randy, Ray, and Kurt Angle for the World Heavyweight title. And I believe it was also around the time when Randy had a bit of an incident where he overdosed on sleeping medication, according to his Apex Predator DVD that released out there. So he was kind of in the doghouse and was going to be serving a suspension, but he had a really good triple threat match at WrestleMania. Went a little shorter than it should have, but Ray got the pin by pinning Randy Orton then to become the new World Heavyweight Champion, and then Randy would be serving his suspension shortly thereafter by staying in storyline. He got his ankle broken by Kurt Angle. But it's still a really good match. And I like this pattern, Randy having really good matches at WrestleMania at this point. Now, 23, the following year, he was in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He didn't win, of course. That was won by Mr. Kennedy. But one of the big highlights that he had, because this was a great ladder match and everything, was when he gave the RKO to CM Punk off nearly the top of the ladder. And I think this might have been such an impressive moment that they rejuvenated his career, because then they really started to go into effect with the Legend Killer and everything, especially after Backlash and everything like that. So maybe that was a moment to help to revitalize Randy's career going back into the right projection there. Now you get to the next year, WrestleMania 24. You had a really good triple threat. John Cena, Randy Orton, and Triple H. Orton had been champion since he won it from Triple H at No Mercy in the Last Man Standing match, because he was awarded the title before he was vacant because Cena was injured when they were supposed to have had the title match there. Then he lost to Triple H, won it back Last Man Standing, been champion since then. Cena won the Royal Rumble, but Orton got himself disqualified, and when Cena cashed in his title match early in No Way Out, Triple H became number one contender. Cena got added in there later, so we got a triple threat, really good match. People thought Triple H or Randy was going to lose, but he retained because Triple H got the pedigree on Cena, but then Orton punted Triple H in the head, and then I believe he pinned Cena afterwards. So Randy defied the odds in a really good triple threat by retaining the title. Because that's the thing you see with champions and everything. The odds are not in their favor, yet he still somehow does it. And then we remember Triple H no-sold the punch the next night. Now, 25. This is where we kind of go off the rails a little bit, because he main evented against Triple H, because they had been feuding beforehand. Randy, he was starting to say he's got IED, he can't control his anger, and the company knew it. He starts taking out members of the McMahon family, he punted Vince in the head legitimately and concussed him. He took out Shane McMahon, DDT'd, and later RKO'd Stephanie and kissed her. It's revealed on screen that, hey, Triple H is married to Stephanie because the whole on-screen divorce thing was a storyline. So, and it gets really personal. Like, they did a great job building this match. I will give them credit for this. But then they gave the weird stipulation that Triple H, who is now the champion because he won the title in No Way Out, and Randy decided, hey, I'm going to face you for the title, Triple H. And he decided, hey, if you get disqualified, you lose the title. So it's like you got a blood feud in the main event where the champion can lose the title by disqualification, which means they kind of have to hold back on what they could fully do to tell that proper story of them, just of Triple H even saying in the feud that he wants to break Randy Orton's neck. I mean, for God's sake, he attacked the man in his own home and threw him through a window. But this one, like, was lackluster. Like, they had better matches than this. I mean, like, their match in Unforgiven 2004 with Randy, his 1 month World Heavyweight title reign, was better than this. But, like, Triple H retained. The match just felt like underwhelming and everything, and they weren't going to have an easy time trying to follow up after Shawn Michaels and Undertaker earlier in the show. Like, nobody could. Like, that was a fantastic match and everything, but this was a letdown. Now, the next year, Randy turned babyface. Legacy breaks up because he decides he's had enough of Cody and Ted. Like, tensions were brewing. So, like, he gave a DDT in a tag match to Cody in the ring, and an RKO to DiBiase Jr. on the floor. So now we got a triple threat where Randy's now the babyface at WrestleMania in a WrestleMania match for the first time ever at this point. And this was actually a really good triple threat. Legacy implodes, and Randy rightfully gets the win against his own Legacy generational brother in there. So, really good match, and then we'd see Randy start to rise back up towards the main event again following this, even with some minor road bumps. Now, 27, this is where they actually had continuity in here, because you go back to Unforgiven 2008, he punted CM Punk in the head during the pay-per-view to cause CM Punk to not be able to defend his title in the World Heavyweight Championship scramble that event. Royal Rumble, he's going against The Miz, and CM Punk gets involved and costs Randy the match and the championship and everything, like, even though Randy was a challenger, because he brought up that fact that, hey, I finally found my moment to take on my revenge on you because you cost me the World Heavyweight title in 2008. So it's like, we got continuity here. And Punk, he's the leader of the new Nexus. They kicked out Wade Barrett. He brought in some people. They got rid of Slater and Gabriel and all that. But Randy decides he's going to take out the Nexus, so he's punting everybody away to make sure it's just down to him and Punk. And at WrestleMania 27, they had a really damn good match at WrestleMania. Punk was going up for a springboard clothesline, and Randy caught him in midair with an RKO. Got the win there. And they would still keep feuding for another match, like pay-per-view match after this with Extreme Rules, but this was a really damn good match. Like, again, I know a lot of people don't think of this show highly or anything. It's one of those in-the-middle-of-the-road pay-per-view, like WrestleManias. But you had a really good match here. 1 out of, like, 3 or so. That was actually really good on this night. Now, 28. So, Kane, he finished the whole Embrace the Hate storyline with John Cena. And then he decided, hey, I'm going to target Randy because before he got his ankle broken by Mark Henry, like, getting all pilmanized and everything and disappear from TV, he showed a human side of himself by shaking hands with Randy after they had a match on that episode of SmackDown before Kane was written off. Like, I am Kane, and how dare you make me look human? So that's kind of what finally led up to this whole thing. And Kane, with the middle rope chokeslam, would defeat Randy Orton and clean his whistle. And this would be Kane's last singles pay-per-view victory for like the next 4.5 years. I think he later won one against Bray in a no-holds bar match, like No Mercy 2016 or whatever it was. So Kane would then would start to fall off the hill with that one for his singles pay-per-view victories, but it was an alright match there. They would have a little better match at Extreme Rules after this, but you can't complain here. Now, you get to 29. Get a 6-man tag match. Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show against The Shield. The Shield still riding high and everything because they had been around since TLC 2012. And Randy and Sheamus decided we got a 6-man tag match and we're teaming with Big Show, but we don't know if we can fully trust him. Because Big Show was feuding with The Shield, but his role was still iffy. The Shield would get the win over Randy, Sheamus, and Big Show, and then afterwards, Big Show showed, oh, I can't be trusted because, well, I'm turning heel again, and knocked out Sheamus and Randy Orton afterwards. I mean, it was a passable match, but not the most memorable match for Randy at WrestleMania. Then you get to 30, where things pick up big time, because Randy, he turned heel, like he won Money in the Bank later on in 2013, cashed in at SummerSlam, turned heel, joined the Authority, unified the WWE and World Heavyweight titles at TLC, so now He's the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the unified champion there. He's been retaining against like Cena and all of them at Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber. Batista, who came back at the Royal Rumble, he came back beforehand, but his first match back was the Royal Rumble match. He won it, and now he wants to go against Randy one-on-one. But then, the whole yes movement's going on, so early in WrestleMania, they had Triple H and Daniel Bryan. Winner gets to be added to the match to make it a triple threat. Daniel Bryan wins. They try to handicap Daniel Bryan afterwards, try to weaken his chances. But he had the triple threat match, and this was better than they had any right to be. Like, I know you got three great athletes and everything here, but it's like, to be able to pull off the match they did with the crowd reaction that they almost had a hard time bringing back after the loss of the streak, this match was stellar for a triple threat main event. Like, Batista, he gave the Batista bomb to Randy Orton, who had already earlier gone, like, just about messed up his back going through the announce table with the whole Batista bomb RKO thing to Daniel Bryan through the announce table. But then Daniel Bryan, with the running knee to Batista, made him tap out to the S-lock, so Randy lost the title without being pinned. So it's like, you succeeded last time you were going to WrestleMania as WWE Champion in a triple threat, but not this time. But still, an excellent match. Now, 31. In the build to this, he was taken off TV because he got turned by Seth Rollins, came back, disappeared from left the Authority and everything, he's doing with Rollins. So, WrestleMania 31, they had a really damn good match here for, this show. Best remembered for the finish, because Seth, he's going for the Phoenix Splash, they do a couple counters and everything, and Seth tried to go for the curb stomp, but then Randy, RKO, in mid-move to win. And they didn't think that, and the story goes that they weren't thinking they were going to pull this move off, because they tried in rehearsals, they're thinking, we got to go with a different finish, but then, as they're making their way out, they decide, let's give it a shot, let's see how it goes, and they nailed it. That's why you still see in a lot of WWE video games since then as an OMG moment. But still, a really damn good match here for Randy and Seth Rollins here. And if memory serves me right, I believe his tights that he wore on this night, they were either the red or the orange ones. I know one of his tights that he wore was similar to the one where won the World Heavyweight title from Chris Benoit in 2004. 32, unfortunately, Randy would not be there. He was out due to injury, I think it was something involving his shoulders. If memory serves me correctly, so he wasn't at 32. 33 is messy here. So, late in 2016, he stopped feuding with the Wyatt family to join them. There was a SmackDown Tag Team title reign there. And eventually, Randy won the Royal Rumble. Seemed like he was giving up his title shot to Bray Wyatt, who became WWE Champion. But then he revealed, I am actually here to tear apart the Wyatt family, and it worked, and I'm burning down your compound, and I'm going to pose in front of it. So, Randy did all this in order to break apart the Wyatt family from within. Smart move. So they have the match at WrestleMania. Randy, Bray, and the match was lackluster because you just remember more for the creepy projections on the ring canvas, like worms and maggots and spooky. So it really took away from the match because eventually people looked at it as it's more comedic than trying to scare Randy. But Randy got the RKO. He beat Bray. Not the worst match between these two that you would see at a WrestleMania. I already covered that before, but we'll cover it again in just a bit. But, you can forget this match. 34, a bit of an oddity here. You had a fatal four-way United States title match where Randy was going in as United States Champion against Rusev, Jinder Mahal, and Bobby Roode. Rusev was not initially in the match, but then he got added in, I guess, as a way to try to make him happy and everything because he wanted his release from the company. But they have the fatal four-way United States title match. It was fine, but again, nobody really remembers it very well. You just remember that Jinder won. I believe he pinned Rusev out of all people. And this was after Jinder was already WWE Champion. He kind of fallen out of relevancy. Then he'll lose the title and then just whatever. But yeah, it was a weird thing to remember that Randy actually went to WrestleMania as United States Champion. One of the only titles he hadn't held up to that point. Now 35, the show that never ended. Because it went for 2+ episodes of Raw back to back. He went up against AJ Styles. And this was an intriguing one because now he was heel again. He had been heel since he came back the year prior because he was feuding with Jeff Hardy and everything and stepped on his cock and all that. So now he's going against AJ saying you say this is the house that AJ Styles built? Well, I'm the landlord and rent's due, you son of a bitch, and all that. This was a fine match, but it felt like it could have been better. Fans probably in the attendance remember that the whole spotlight thing being in their faces, we can't see, but AJ won. I think you remember even more of the build where the point where AJ teased the Phenomenal Forearm, but Randy couldn't do the RKO and everything. They just pointed at each other like that Spider-Man meme. Either that or I'm thinking later, but I remember there was an RKO and everything, but it's just this match could have been better. Now, 36. Randy was still heel, and at the Royal Rumble, he became the runner-up again. So, he became the runner-up to Edge, and Randy was just like, before the pandemic shutdown happened, he's like, oh, how about we get Rated RKO back together one more time? But he attacks Edge instead and everything, so they're going to have a match, WrestleMania 36, Night 2, Last Man Standing. You probably remember a bit more for the gym equipment thing that I should not probably really fully reference. And it's hard for, and it's a personal note, it's hard for me to look back at WrestleMania 36 Night 2, because that's when I lost channels and everything, but it was a passable match. Like, there were certain limitations that you had to do, especially with no crowd there and trying to get a show to work, because they pre-taped this, I think, like a few weeks in advance, if I remember correctly. It was a passable match. Edge won backstage and everything with a concerto on top, like, of a semi-truck. So it was passable. Like, I don't know if they had a better match when they had their rematch, the WrestleMania Backlash show or whatever, the greatest match of all time. Because, again, I don't want to relive any of this. Now, 37, yeah. The first night of WrestleMania 37 Night 2, he's going against The Fiend, who he had been feuding with since the year prior. The whole thing of back and forth and, like, spooky stuff. Alexa Bliss, The Fiend is set on fire, and he's coming back with a new suit, which he'll get rid of because he was showing in backstage videos that he's having a hard time really moving with that kind of outfit on. But he had the standard Fiend outfit again against Randy Orton, red light and all, and they did worse than the WrestleMania 33 match, because Randy, it took one RKO after a distraction by Alexa Bliss, who popped out of the Jack-in-the-Box with black goo on her head, to beat The Fiend. Like, Seth could not beat him with a dozen stomps inside Hell in a Cell, but Randy only took one RKO to defeat The Fiend. And it was just, like I said, it was a bad match. It was like, the less we remember it, the better. Now, 38 by this point, he had turned babyface. He was tag champions with Matt Riddle. I could wish I could forget about that dude, like, bro, like, and all that stuff. But he's going in as Raw Tag Team Champions, going into the show, against, I have to quickly refresh my memory here. Yes, against the Street Profits and Alpha Academy, being Chad Gable and Otis. Pretty good match and everything. I just don't remember this match all that often. Because again, like, some of these things with these two-night shows can, like, mix a little bit. Like, you remember some matches more than others, but, like, it was a pretty good match. 11 and a half minutes. It worked. Again, like, RK Bro retained the tag titles. It's fine. It's whatever. Now, 39, unfortunately, Randy would be out because we didn't know if he was coming back. Because, like, after WrestleMania, he would lose the Raw tag titles against Usos. And then Randy would be gone for the next year and a half because of his back problem. So 39 could not be there. But then he came back, and WrestleMania 40 happened. So, and I also have to remind myself of this because, like, a lot of these shows, like, even with recent everything, I gotta refresh my memory a little bit. But WrestleMania 40, yeah, Triple Threat United States title match against the champion Logan Paul and fellow challenger Kevin Owens. Like, you got RKO, and there, I remember this match all that much. Like, I don't think I really paid much attention to it. But, like, Logan Paul retained it, so 0 stars. 41, we got this whole thing. So 41, he was supposed to have gone against Kevin Owens, but then right before the show was revealed, Kevin Owens has a legit neck issue. He can't have the match. He's got to be away. And as of the recording, he still has not been back on television or anything. Like, I know he appeared at Saturday Night's Main Event in the crowd for Cena's retirement, but in terms of actively being a part in storylines or matches or anything, it has not happened yet. So Randy decides, oh, so I don't have a match now? Well, I'll also have a match instead of Kevin Owens. It'll be an open challenge. And who came out? Joe Hendry. Short match and everything. Entertaining. Like, Joe Hendry did his little spin and smile thing and then got in with the RKO out of nowhere. Then Randy, after he got the win, picked him up. It's like, yeah, there you go. Like, look at the crowd. They're all here for you. Another RKO, and then had some fun doing his own impression of the pose and everything. Be like, yeah! So, a fun moment there. So now 42 is coming up, and he's going to be facing Cody for the undisputed WWE Championship. Is he going to win? It's hard to say because, like, I don't want to put a full-on prediction here because I gave a prediction last year, and we saw what happened. Because, like, I thought they weren't going to put it on Cena because, like, oh, he doesn't need to be the champion again, but they did it. I mean, I'm having a hard time even thinking about putting a prediction because next thing you know, oh, they flip the script. Oh, they don't go with your prediction. So, yeah, that was a lot of history to go over with Randy Orton because, like I say, he's missed like 2 WrestleManias in terms of having matches between his debut and as of late. Because, again, he missed 39 and because of his back issue that we didn't know if he's going to recover from. And he missed 32 because of shoulder issues. But, like, that's a lot of matches. Like, he had a couple, like, iffy ones and everything in there. But it's like, you know what? Not everybody's going to score, like, a 300 in a bowling match or, like, game of bowling or anything like that. Not everybody's going to hit a home run and stuff. You work with what you've got. And he's had a lot of classic matches that I mentioned here. But let me know in the comments section below. What do you all think about the history of Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Like, what do you think is his best match at WrestleMania? What's his worst? Like, if I had to go with the worst, of course, it's WrestleMania 37 against The Fiend, because that match stunk up the joint and everything like that. Best, like, outside of, like, the Money in the Bank ladder match, maybe his one-on-one match against The Undertaker and everything from 21, because that match was actually really damn good and everything. Maybe his, like, or otherwise, maybe also his triple threat at WrestleMania 30. It's all based on personal perspective, but let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's episode of the podcast, folks, please remember, leave a like, subscribe with the bell, turn on here on YouTube, comment what you thought below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.